Hello, welcome to Where We Knit. My name is Kristen and I am coming to you from Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I'm filming here in my home today. And on this podcast, I talk all about my knitting, what I'm trying to finish it for something I'm calling for myself, Finish It Fall, a couple acquisitions and some sweater surgery that I'm doing, and also some holiday cast-ons. So welcome. If you have not been here before, I generally film these podcasts at my local yarn store called Dandelion Fiber here in Minneapolis. But today I decided it's sunny and bright and I don't want to leave the house this morning. So here I am. I am wearing one of my finished objects. If you watched the last podcast, I talk all about really trying to finish a handful of projects. So those projects were listed in the last video and I have made some pretty good progress. I'm kind of proud of myself. I try to do these videos every 2 weeks. I have not been that consistent recently, but I'm on a roll. So I'm excited to share with you what I've gotten done in the last 2 weeks. I'm wearing, I didn't finish saying what I'm wearing, the Nordic Bloom Vest by Caitlin Hunter. This is in a publication by Lina Magazine and it is called Nordic Knits. You can find it on Ravelry. I will put a link to everything I mention in the show notes. If you don't know how to get to what I call the show notes or the description, you just have to click on the word more and underneath the video, and all of the information that I upload into the document it's all there. So any kind of promo codes, anything, it's all in there. If you can't find it, you can always message me. So I am so proud of this. I love it. It is perfect size. I talked about it. I started it this summer. And I talked about how I accidentally cast on the wrong number of stitches. I was trying to do the size 2 and I cast on the stitches for the size 5. And it was not going to work for my body. So I had to go in and steek it. I did do it. It's right back here. You can kind of see it. I don't know if it's on camera right now, but this is where I steeked it. It was in the ribbing. It wasn't, I was far enough up. I had just started the color work here and I'm like, I am not ripping all this ribbing out. So I steeked it there. You can see it a little bit, but nobody's really going to notice. And so then I finished it. So the yarn that I used is Hudson and West, which is now, they are no longer going to be dyeing yarn. So if you want to check them out, I did put their link in the description box. However, they are not dyeing yarn anymore. They are just doing the last few skeins now, and you can get them a little bit discounted, but I love this yarn. I've always loved this yarn. I have other projects in this yarn. I was introduced to them at Indie Untangled about 4 to 5 years ago, and I really, really love their yarn. This is the worsted weight in the colorway Lake. Their worsted weight, I believe, is called Forge. And it took 2 skeins, not that much, just because it's so cropped. And then the cream color is the colorway Cream from Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino. I got the buttons at my local yarn store, Dandelion Fiber. And this is just the perfect knit for me. Like, I think I could wear it in the spring with just a t-shirt. I do love the cropped look with a long white button down. I'm a huge fan of the long white button down. And so I'm super happy to have finished it. It was the very first thing I went to after I decided I'm going to do Finish It Fall. And then the next thing that I finished was this Moana hat. This is knit in Cashmere by the Cashmere people, I believe. I got this yarn from my friend Susie, who bought a kit at Woolen Folk a really long time ago from Port Fiber, had a booth there. And I love this hat, and I love it so much that I'm going to be teaching a class for beginners of stranded color work. at my local yarn store, Dandelion Fiber, after the first of the year. I don't know when we're going to schedule it in, but it'll be a great class because it's a sport weight yarn. The motif is really easy to repeat, and also you would learn a Latvian braid. It comes in a beanie and a slouch, and I did the slouch version, and it could not be more buttery soft. I'm really, really happy. I was teetering on, I have to kind of sew this up a little bit better, but I was teetering on putting on a pom-pom, and I think I'm not going to. So this is the Moana hat. Check out the link in the description box below. One other thing that I decided to get back out and finish, these are a gift for Susie of Fiber McGyver. She watched my dog in October, and I wanted to knit her something. So I knit her these loofah mittens. I've talked about these mittens numerous times. Many of you from last week's video asked if I would ever consider teaching a class online for the loofah mittens. And yes, that is in the works. I just need to figure out equipment. Okay, so I don't have high-tech equipment. And so to do this live, I would have to make sure I have the proper lighting and I have the proper way of being able to practice and show you how to do some techniques like the gusset and such on these mittens. These are knit with a DK weight gray yarn that I don't know, excuse me, what it is. And then I'll pop a picture of Susie's minis up. I think I did it last time too, so sorry about the repeat. But I used a bundle of her minis for the stripes. I love them. And then I used her suri alpaca, which I have knit these mittens numerous times, maybe even 20 times. And the thing that I recognized is I've never done a really like soft, fluffy yarn in the inside. And so I tried her suri, held double, because this is a DK weight pattern. And she also, Susie for Fiber McGyver, she also has DK weight suri. So I just didn't have it. So I just held her suri double. And these are amazing. I hope that she starts to offer kits in her yarn. That's my hope. So I'm almost done with the other one, although I'm kind of stalling on it because I start teaching another class of the loofah mitten tomorrow, Sunday, at Dandelion, and I need that mitten sample so I can show folks how to pick up stitches for the lining. So these mittens are amazing. I can't say enough about them. The pattern is not written in a way that I think is really helpful for those of us who are English speakers. I think it was probably written in some kind of Scandinavian language and perhaps then translated in a way that's really hard to kind of understand a couple things. So this is what the mitten looks like. And then you just stuff the beautiful piece in the inside. I suppose you could make these reversible if you wanted to, but I chose to have this buttery soft suri alpaca from Susie Fiber McGyver in the inside. If you want to check out her yarn, there is an affiliate link, and you get, I believe, 10% off your order. So check it out if you want to, if you're in the market for some yarn. All right, let's talk about sweater surgery. Do you all have a sweater that you love so much that you spent a lot of money and time on, and you're not reaching for it for whatever reason? Perhaps you knit it too cropped. That's number one that I have. Perhaps the sleeves are not what you wanted them to. They're too short, they're too long. You don't like the ribbing, you gotta redo something on it. Well, that's kind of the camp that I was in. And so I decided I'm gonna fix 2 sweaters along with my finish it fall. Yes, I am biting off more than I can chew, per usual. So this sweater, I believe it is called the Calderon. I'll put it at the bottom of the screen and I'll show you a little B-roll about how short the sleeves were. I did knit it to pattern. It was supposed to have sleeves that were just basically kind of at the crook of my elbow. And I found myself, I wore it about a week ago to work, and I found myself pulling on the sleeve, pulling on the sleeve. Well, I did have one skein of this Pollen, Brooklyn Tweed Shelter Pollen. I did have one skein left. It wasn't going to get me anywhere. I don't think I could have even gotten a hat out of it, perhaps, but a very small beanie. And so I decided to rip out the sleeve. You can kind of see how much length I put in, but honestly, who's gonna notice that? I put a needle in, I ripped it. I pretty much had to throw the yarn here. Some of it I saved, but then I took the one skein that I had left, I balled it into 2 different balls that were exact same weight, so I knew exactly how much I had for each sleeve and I didn't run out. I like it so much better. It fits so much better. I love the sleeves. Now they come down right to bracelet length. It's so much more practical for me as the wearer of this garment, and I couldn't be more pleased that I took the time to do it. Was it fun? Not really, but I did get to do this fun stitch pattern again. I stopped doing the decreases, so I just knit it straight from wherever the last decrease was. And I'm so happy I did it. So I'm glad I did this one first because it gave me the energy and the gumption to look at one more sweater. That being the Tessellated Pullover by Andrea Mowry. I love this sweater. It is so buttery soft. I knit it with the variegated yarn is Spin Cycle. The suri, the blue, is the colorway Mineral by Fiber Mcgyver. And I had that left over. I have a little bit of, it's not Spin Cycle. I think it's from Yarn Hero, which is another great variegated yarn company, color changing. And so it would match because, I mean, look at how much this variegation changes from, you know, like darker pink to bright pink to dark to light, whatever it might be. So this sweater, I love it. It was really fun to knit, but it was bottom up, not my favorite. Not my favorite because I can never knit it long enough. And this pattern is really written for people who love cropped sweaters. Sometimes I do. This is perfect to be cropped because that's exactly how I wear it. And I could wear this the same way, right? I could wear it but I don't love it like that. Excuse me. I wanted it to be longer. I also was thinking, I have a really good idea, that I would maybe steek it down the front and make it a cardigan because I am in my cardigan era. Either way, I'm gonna do surgery on it, and I started. So what I did was I went in above the ribbing and I took the main body needle, which is a size 4, I believe, doesn't matter, 4 or 5, I think. Honestly, it doesn't matter, but now I have to know. 4. Okay, so I went in right above where the ribbing is, okay? Yep, this ribbing is really hefty, but I have a ton of this yarn. This is Onling number 15. It is a super, super soft merino. I have tons of it. So I know that if I want to steek it, I would have enough for the ribbing down the front on both sides. And I also know that if I hack up this ribbing, I would have enough. When I say hack up, what I mean is I'm going to cut this off, okay? I'm going to cut this ribbing off. And I'm gonna put it on a barber cord or some kind of something that's gonna hold it. And then I'm going to knit this pattern down, maybe to here. I might make it about 2.5 to 3 inches longer. I have enough yarn. Then I'm going to graft it back together, which means I would be doing Kitchener stitch back and forth between the 2 needles. I'm gonna try it. If I can't Kitchener this, then I'm just gonna go to 3 inches longer with this tessellated pattern, okay? And then add 3 inches of ribbing with this gray color. I'm gonna try it on and see how I like it. and then I will make the decision if I'm gonna steek it or not. You're probably thinking, but wait, you didn't put steek stitches in there. It doesn't matter. After taking a class at Nash Fest with Arnie and Carlos, they gave me the confidence that you really don't need those steek stitches in there. If you do it properly and you find exactly the middle, which I already did, and I could steek down here, right in this middle where the pink is. I also always, if I am steeking a cardigan, I pick up my ribbing before I steek it. I learned that from Andrea Mowry, where I would just pick up stitches evenly around, knit my ribbing, then steek it. Because what happens is, because of the weight of the ribbing on either side, okay, if I would steek it here, let's say, these two sides, just because of the weight of the ribbing, they just go whoop, and then I can secure it in the inside, probably put a really cute ribbon to hide the steek. I've done that before, but I'm excited. I'm excited because I don't wear this enough because it's too cropped. So I'm gonna do something to make it better. And you know, the tedious thing was to just stitch this in each and make sure that my stitch count is correct. And then I'm gonna cut it. Maybe I'll do a little tutorial on that at some point. Let me know in the comments if you would benefit from that, seeing some of the sweater surgery that I'm working on. All right, so let's move on to something really fun. I have a cowl also that it was with Wool in the Gang Crazy Sexy Wool. This super thick white, creamy white yarn. When I got back into knitting during the pandemic, I knit this gigantic cowl. I can't wear it. It's so like meaningless. So I do have a video that I'll pop up here of how big and bulky and dumb it was. And so recently I was just scrolling through, I don't know what I was looking at. I bet it came up on my Instagram feed. This company that I'm spacing out the name and I didn't write it in my notes here. Something in twigs. They have kits. They have really cute kits. And they had a kit to make these little wreaths. This is just an I-cord, okay? And then I got this really beautiful velvet ribbon from Michael's, okay? So I'm still kind of perfecting how I'm gonna do it, but I am going to tie these to my holiday gifts this year. And I'm also gonna make them into ornaments and give them to friends of mine, coworkers and friends. I think it's really cute. I mean, it's darling. And it took me literally 10 minutes. It's like a sock blink. I undo a certain amount of yarn from this cowl, this gigantic cowl. I could probably make 50 of these. But anyhow, this company is selling kits where you get the yarn and the ribbon, and and the pattern, but I don't think you get the needles. I did it on a size 15 needle. I cast on 4 stitches for I-cord. I'm gonna try to make them a little bit bigger and chunkier and see if I like that too. But aren't these adorable? I think they're adorable. And so I'm really excited about doing that. I am going to put the company who makes it, Twigs and something, I don't remember that. Anyhow, I'm gonna put their link in the show notes because I also think that if you don't have this yarn and you just want a kit because you really love kits, there's something about kits that people really love, including myself. Buy the kit. It'd be so cute. You could probably, I think they give you a kit that makes like maybe 8 of them or something. Anyway, it's worth checking out. I'm not getting a kickback from them. The things that I mentioned, I don't get a kickback. Sometimes I do, but it's not very much. So I just want you to know that I'm bringing this up because I think they're adorable and they'd be a great gift. Okay, so then the other thing is, a while back, I knit something from June Cashmere. I got a kit from my mom for Christmas for this gorgeous poncho that I love, love, love. And then when I started teaching this podcast or doing this podcast, I introduced myself to Amy Swanson, who is the yarn person here in the United States, who, you know, distributes the yarn and does all things yarn through June Cashmere. And she gifted me some yarn, and I talked about it and did a whole bunch of stuff. It was really fun. And then now they carry Camel, okay? And you know that I've knit with Camel before, and I loved it. It's so buttery soft. I'm going to be looking down here because there's some things that I really want to talk about when it comes to June Cashmere Camel, their new DK Camel that they just kind of launched this past fall. And she gave me like a little like 101 on Camel versus Cashmere. And she's at a bunch of shows. She goes to like Nashfest and she was at, not Rhinebeck, but Indian Tangle maybe, or a Woolen Affair. And so this is the Cashmere, the DK weight Cashmere. And this is the Camel. Now you can see it's not showing up very well on the equipment that I use for taping, but you can see that the Cashmere has a little bit more vibrancy red, and the Camel has a little bit more of a brick red, which actually I was looking for because I was in the market for DK weight yarn, sport DK weight yarn for the Maggie cardigan. So I told you I was in my cardigan era. So the Maggie cardigan is a short sleeve cardigan, but I love a short sleeve cardigan because I feel like it's more versatile. I can wear it for more seasons than just winter, fall, winter. And I really wanted to try this Camel yarn. So I got 7 skeins of the June Cashmere, 100% DK weight. 50 grams is 150 yards. Okay, this is called Red Geranium. Let me see, I think they're different colorways. So this is June Cashmere. This is their Scarlet colorway in the Cashmere. And this is Red Geranium, which makes sense because that's kind of the right color for it, of their Camel. Now, if I touch these and close my eyes, they are one and the same, which means it feels just like Cashmere. But it's a little bit more dense. It's a little bit more, it's more warm. And Camel is more warm, which is what makes which makes sense because it's the reason why a lot of times we see coats made of camel and not necessarily cashmere. There are cashmere coats, but they're more expensive. So cashmere is a little bit more expensive than camel. Now, the Camel is, one thing that you need to know about this Camel is it comes from, I'm gonna say it wrong, Bactrian camels, which is like the 2-hump camels, and it's coming from the surrounding desert area of Kyrgyzstan. So I'm testing this in the Maggie cardigan, and I can't wait. I've already knit a swatch, which is, so it's considered a DK weight. I did get a sport weight gauge on it. This is the swatch that I made for the Maggie cardigan, which is a sport weight pattern. And I can't wait. It's going to be my Christmas cardigan that I'm going to wear on Christmas Day. And I love it. And I hope you try it. So this is the swatch. And it is so buttery soft, and think of how nice and warm it will be. So I don't really care that it's a short sleeve cardigan. So Amy's offering Where We Knit viewers 10% off and free shipping if you spend $75 in the US. And it will go through like November 30th. So I came up with a handful of patterns that I wanted to tell you about because I have also made, I don't have them with me right now, but I'll pop a picture of them. I made the penny gloves in my June Cashmere DK weight, or no, that was fingering weight. I did make penny gloves that I wear all the time out of the June Cashmere with the scraps from the poncho kit that I got, and I love them. So if you are looking to knit, can you see someone's trying to get on that? That's Hank. If you are in the market for knitting a pretty, like a nice luxurious gift that's not over the top, I found some really great patterns for this camel. So an Italian summer scarf. It's been in my favorites on Ravelry for a long time. And ironically enough, I was at the knit along this week that I'm hosting at Dandelion Fiber. It's the shawl along where everybody picks a shawl pattern and we all make a different one and sit together on Wednesday nights. It's so fun. But Mary, my friend Mary, brought a picture of this and also brought a scarf that she knit a while ago and was trying to figure out the pattern. Well, anyway, it's very similar to this, an Italian summer shawl. Or a scarf, they call it. It's by the Italian knitter. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and you could knit it in 2 skeins of this camel. Like, think of, I want to show you the other colorways too. Think of like this, I mean, all of them, like this green, this is called olive bark. It's like a greeny brown. I love it so much. So I'm gonna test out these in little scarves and little shawlettes too. This colorway is Stormy Blue. This colorway is this smoky lilac. Are you kidding? That's gorgeous. Just the natural camel, so undyed, and olive bark. So these are the colorways that you could nab that camel in if you just wanted to try out something small. This red is coming out a lot more vibrant than it actually is here. I don't know why, so you can see it's the same thing. Anyhow, I love that little shawl. I'm gonna make one. The other one is the Louise shawlette by Miriam Wakeshald. I'm gonna put her name up on the bottom because I can't pronounce it, and it's worth making sure that you know about this cute little Louise shawlette. This is a paid for pattern in Ravelry. All of the links will be in the show notes. This would also be a 2 skein project. I think this would be gorgeous in this camel. The other one would be the Journey Mitts, which is a DK weight pattern. It was originally written for June Cashmere. It's by Kristen Exusian. This would be a 1 skein project. And I love these little Journey Mitts. I have yet to knit them. It's been in my favorites for a really long time as well. The pattern was written for June Cashmere for their cashmere, but you could substitute because it's DK weight and you get the same gauge. It would be gorgeous. They would be gorgeous. A beautiful gift for someone you really love. And then the Easy Rib Finger Mitts by Tanya Barley. This is also a free pattern, and you would just need 1 skein for these super cute little fingerless mitts. So I can't say enough about this. I'm really, really excited to partner with June Cashmere and make this really cute cardigan for my holiday wear. And hopefully, well, it will get done. It will get done by Christmas. So it's not part of my Finish It Fall, but my Finish It Fall pieces are already started. And this Maggie cardigan, I love Petiteknit. I love her patterns. I think it's gonna be a really great knit for me. And again, if you feel like knitting it with me, you get 10% off. What a cute little cardigan, short sleeve cardigan to put in your wardrobe this winter. Okay, let's talk a little bit about one more thing I wanted to mention is I like to knit myself a pair of holiday socks each year, and I use generally self-striping. I have bought an Advent skein before where you just knit a stripe every day. So I have a lot of self-striped like holiday socks. And I love Turtlepurl Yarns too. I've talked about them. They're the ones that have like that trench coat colorway that looks like Burberry plaid or the stripe. They have it in DK and they have it in fingering. Anyway, I've knit people's socks and fingerless gloves from those, and I have more that I bought from Emily at Turtlepurl that I'm gonna make the toast mitts by Leslie Friend. Anyhow, I got this, it's called Sugar Plum Waltz, and I'm gonna put a picture of what it looks like here. The thing that I love about Emily and Turtlepurl Yarn is that she has it in 2 exact matching skeins for you, and you just have to be careful how you wind them up, that you wind them up the same way, and it's seamless. Then they look exactly the same, if you care about that. Now, some people don't care about that, so it's fine, but this is what it looks like, all skeined up or balled up. Okay, and I decided to do something a little bit different. Instead of having just full stripes each, not each day, but for a self-striping yarn. And I decided I got this from the Summerly Colorway Cuff Club number 2. She had this really cute pattern where it was like every other one, and like white, and then the color, and then white, and then the color. And I decided to do that for mine. So this is self-striping yarn. It should be just plain stripes, but instead I put in this super, just like to be able to change it a little bit. Plus I want them a little taller. I find myself wanting my holiday socks to be a little bit taller each year. So I did also try the Earth Tones Girl. I know it looks bad, but I'm gonna keep going with it. But I tried to do the helical knitting. I sucked at it. So I just went back to the normal. I don't think it looks that bad. Here's the side. It doesn't look bad. But where I tried the helical, it looks bad. On the other side, I'm not gonna show it to you. But I am really excited how this is gonna change throughout. And I have another one of these for the other sock. So I'm really excited. Turtlepurl Yarns, this is the colorway. It comes in DK and fingering. It comes from Canada. And you also, Emily's offering a good discount too. It's in the show notes. I think it's either 10% or 15% off with the code for Where We Knit. So check it out if you like self-striping yarn. She has a gazillion of different colorways, and this comes in DK and fingering. My other favorite is trench coat. I talked about another colorway earlier this summer when I knit a pair of socks for, I can't remember if I was knitting them for anyway, it turns out that I kept them because I loved them so much. So that is what I've got going this week, or going on this past 2 weeks. So moving forward, the things that I'm going to finish it in the next 2 weeks are my Petali slipover. It's like this cute little vest by In Her Skein. Marie Ev, I am a test knitter for this beautiful vest, and I'm close, but I was also running out of yarn for that, so I was kind of waiting for the yarn to arrive, and it's here. And you know, this is my first test knit and I don't want to fail it. So my 100% attention the next 2 weeks is on this vest. I'll get it done before then, but I want to be able to provide support and feedback and photos. And I also want to wear it on Thanksgiving Day. So I already have my outfit planned for Thanksgiving Day. So that is one thing that I'll be working on. I will be finishing the loofah mitten here. So that'll be finished by the next time. See, if I tell you this, I'll get it done because it's like a commitment. I'm going to figure out what I should do with this sweater surgery. Okay, I'm gonna start doing like a segment on sweater surgery, I think, every time, because I have a ton of things that I'm either gonna rip out or change or fix or whatever it might be. And we'll see how far I get on the Maggie cardigan for holiday. I'm hoping to have another sock done with the Turtlepurl yarn. Amazing. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you for watching. I don't want to forget my favorite things. So if you've watched my videos before, I share favorite things that I have. It could be a feeling, it could be a recipe, it could be something I purchased, it could be an experience, it could be anything. So my favorite things, I always share 3, sometimes 4, but I'm gonna keep it to 3 this time. And that is, the first thing is, for this last 2 weeks, my favorite thing is a recipe that I have been making since we've been engaged. Mr. Ravelry and I have been engaged, which is a long, long time ago. We got an engagement gift from his family because they knew I love to cook. And it was like this big basket of gourmet food things. And inside of it was a Dean and DeLuca cookbook. Now, I don't know if that cookbook is still in print. I tried to find it in the show notes, in the description box below. I did find it at like some sort of, it's not half price books, but it's a used bookstore, and it was only $5. I could not find the recipe in a link on a website anywhere, but chicken pot pie recipe. And I made it last weekend for family who came over, and I make little individual ones. The recipe is for one giant one, but this one is for just like a little one. And I love it. The only modification I make is that it asks for pearl onions, and I just do chopped onion, like thinly chopped, fine chopped onion. And the other thing is, I used to, for many, many years, make my own pie crust. That's the recipe that's in the recipe. And now I use Trader Joe's frozen pie crust. It's delicious, and it's so heartwarming, and it's kind of showy if you want to make individual ones. It's kind of fun if you're entertaining, but that is my favorite recipe of the last 2 weeks. The next thing is, did you see that Target and Woolrich did a collaboration? Well, I did see it. And let me tell you, if I could get my hands on more of these, I would. I don't know. Now, I'm mentioning this to you, but I think they're gone, at least the medium size. This is the Target and Woolrich collaboration socks. Look at these. And they're so cozy. I love them. So they're just called the sheep socks, Woolrich at Target. They were $8.99, $7.99, something like that, US dollars. I can't find any more of them. I wanted to make a pair for my entire knitting group. And so I hope you can find them. Woolrich times Target equals these amazing, cute sheep socks. Plus, I love this little red line right here too. So cute. So, last favorite thing is these people on Instagram. So, I am really into skincare. You wouldn't know it with all my wrinkles and such, but I love these women, and they are called My Sister's Skin. There are 2 estheticians. I want to see if I wrote anything down about them. I thought I did. No, I did. I put it in the show notes under favorite things, excuse me. And they are so funny, but they're amazing, and their skin looks amazing. I don't know what they do, but they're younger than I am. But I have tons of skin damage because, wait for it, I worked in a tanning bed as a 16-year-old young girl. Yep, in high school, my first and only job in high school was working at tantalizing. Get it? What was my mother doing? Why did she? Well, you know what my mother was doing? She was getting free tanning. That's what she was getting, because I would get her in for free. But anyhow, I have so much sun damage from that. And it was just, it's like one of those things where poor decisions as a young person and what happens to your adult body. But I digress. My Sister's Skin. These 2 women are licensed estheticians, and they are not promoting thousands of dollar products to you. They're telling you about the over-the-counter products that you can get that can make a difference on fine lines and aging skin. Check them out. They're hilarious. They go into Sephora, and they're like filming in Sephora, and they get kicked out every time, even though they're promoting Sephora products. So recently, Sephora just had a sale like their 30% off sale or something. I don't usually shop at Sephora, but they did this whole segment on products you can get at Sephora that are great for your skin that don't cost you $1 million. So guess what? I went and got all of their, well, not all of their recommendations, but many of them. So anyway, my favorite thing is to watch their reels because they have a lot of really good information on cleansing your skin and moisturizing your skin. And anyway, check them out if you're into skincare and you're into trying to eliminate your fine lines like me. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to come back to you next time with more Finish It Fall and some progress on maybe my Maggie cardigan. Make sure to check out June Cashmere Camel. It is beautiful. It is luxurious. If it's in your budget, check them out for maybe a gift for someone you really love this Christmas. All right, see ya. Bye.